going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, hat model, and glorious. Got to get us one of those hats. Love the analytics Vikings helmet with the laptop. I think they're on Etsy. Yeah. So overall, some good news. Considering the Vikings' alleged loss against the Ravens on Sunday. Takeaways: killer penalties, just the false starts. Over and over and over and over and over again, right? So they had 0 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth quarter. And in a spot where you're trying to make a comeback, 6 false starts in one half. And it played into the running game, which we'll get to in a second. But they went back and took a look at the film, Leslie Frazier style. Didn't find a smoking gun. Overall, it's just a cavalcade of small errors and just discipline and all that stuff. And Kevin O'Connell, he took the blame for that. It's on him because it is on him, right? I also talked about how he has to do a better job being more invested in every single position room. It's not just assistant coaches, not just offense and defense, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure. I feel like it was a subtle way in calling out his staff, but it wasn't the full-on like throwing under the bus, right? Also, really good news on Jonathan Greenard, who left the game on Sunday with a shoulder issue. No long-term injury. It says that Greenard's a little bit sore this week today, but hopefully he'll get some work in this week and play on Sunday against the Bears because we need him. We need him. Right. Theo Jackson, concussion. Josh Oliver, foot/ankle, will return this week. Also, the Ryan Kelly 21-day return to practice window off of injured reserve, barring something unforeseen, will happen. Right, and Ryan Kelly, basically, well, O'Connell initially phrased it. It's almost like the Michael Scott from The Office. Well, the medical professionals did everything they could, but Meredith is going to make it. Right, that's kind of what it was, because I honestly thought that, Ryan Kelly, when he said barring something unforeseen, he was going to say that Kelly shut down for the season, right? But apparently Kelly is in a really good spot and good to go. And Brandel has played at center the last couple of games, but Ryan Kelly would be an upgrade in that spot. Also talked about how a bunch of players are going to be getting days off this week, so don't freak out over it. Want to have a fresh team later in the season, so it's going to be part of it. Right. Also, so the false starts, talked about how the run game was solid, but got away from it. That's on him. But also, the penalties warped the run game a little bit, because it kind of makes sense where the Vikings were on the ball, but you have a false start to start a drive. You're on 1st and 15. I mean, generally, you're getting away from your normal script in that spot where 1st and 15. Kind of tough to run, because say you get stopped at the line of scrimmage, instead of 2nd and 10, it's 2nd and 15, and then that shrinks the playbook considerably, right? And also decreases your chances of moving the sticks, pretty precipitously as well. Plus, I give a shout out to Jalen Speedy Naylor, where he's been consistent all year. Just had a big time game against the Ravens, career high in a lot of things, but he's out there, playing his balls off. That's exactly what he's been doing all year, and we said that Naylor has quietly been pretty consistent. Also, gave a big shout out to Speedy's blocking as well. Him and Kyle Hamilton had a couple of decent battles. Speedy came on top in those spots. Also, you would love to get Jets and Addison going more. Jefferson had 4 catches on 12 targets. Addison had 3 catches on 11 targets yesterday. So there certainly was a disconnect there. Also, Hawkinson, looks are getting schemed up, but sometimes McCarthy likes to go downtown Julie Brown, but are going to be there. And basically, Kevin O'Connell flat out said, no excuse, have to get TJ involved more. My 2-8 fantasy team thanks you. About time. Time to make a run. Get to 6-8. Right? Also, with McCarthy, so 5 batted passes, and something where it's not totally synced up. And also, you gave credit to the Ravens. They did a good job. Scouting report. If not getting home, get your hands up. What up? Also, it's unfortunate because of 5 batted passes. O'Connell taking a look at the film, just like there were going to be explosive plays. Like one of them potentially was going to be an Addison touchdown. It's just that's what is also lost in soup. Batted pass is kind of deflating, but also what that play could have been. Right, moving the ball downfield, getting some mojo going, maybe get a touchdown in there. Yeah. Also said that felt like they were pressing when they got down. And that's something with J.J. McCarthy, right? That's youth, that's intensity, And when JJ McCarthy feels pressed, I mean, that ball's coming out 110 miles an hour as opposed to 90 or 100. Right, McCarthy, footwork during game needs some work, but that's pretty common for young quarterbacks. O'Connell mentioned it's all normal, part of growth, encouraging, and the explosive plays were there. Had good pocket movement as well. Thought the offensive line did a good job. Had 16 pressures, but only 1 sack on McCarthy overall yesterday. But also talked about how McCarthy's the will to win is impressive, and it's something that's something too. Everything about JJ McCarthy, everything that needs to be worked on can get worked on. But if you need a quarterback who is more intense or has more of a will to win, you can't really teach that. You can't really coach that up, right? But you can coach up, take the check down, have a little bit more touch here, take a little something off the fastball here. Don't be afraid taking the underneath option. All right, go ahead and run on third down, pick up the chains, also slide. All right, so all those things can be taught. But things that J.J. McCarthy does well right now, just that dog in the fourth quarter, as well as threatening every single blade of grass with his arm, like that can't be taught. So that's why I got faith. Also, spent a lot of time thinking about that 3rd and 1 shot. You have the best wide receiver in the NFL one-on-one with a good 4th down run call because obviously the Vikings were going to go for it on 4th down if they didn't get it on 3rd and 1. And we still stand by that. We said it yesterday too. We thought it was a great decision, especially if and when you decide to run for it on 4th down if you didn't get it. And Jefferson, he said like 99 times out of 100, Jefferson does not slip. Right, so 1 time out of 100, Jefferson slips. It's an easy punt return interception for Marlon Humphrey. I'm sure he'll talk about it on his podcast. Oh, who the man? We the man. But Jefferson against Marlon Humphrey deep on a skinny post, you were taking that every single time. And I have not vacillated on that 1 iota. It was a good play call. Right, you can criticize Kevin McConnell for a lot, but criticizing that play call, kind of dumb. Yeah. I'm taking that every single, because it's not like the first interception, which was kind of bad, where it was into double coverage. All right, so won that. And the Jefferson frustration, chalked it up to not getting some calls early, which, I mean, basically the Ravens got away with murder. Shocker. History repeats itself, but no calls, and especially on that 2-point conversion, where defenseless receiver, no, all right. But also, he's just super competitive, wants to get after things, and you understand where he's coming from, right? And also, it's so funny, where throughout the week and throughout the game, sometimes O'Connell finds himself needing to remind J.J. McCarthy to stay calm. Just the intensity is coming out there, where it's not anxiety, it's not feistiness, it's pure up intensity. I want to win. No, I do not want to throw the check down. Yes, I want to hit a 450-yard home run every single freaking time. Let's do it, all right? And like we said, it's better to scale that down versus trying to amp that up, all right? And McCarthy wants to make the play. Just got to learn to put the ball in play. I mean, you don't have to crush every single drive 350 yards, right? Just be a little bit more accurate underneath. Take what's there. There you go. I also talked about how all experience is good experience right now. And it absolutely is. Because we've seen the upside of McCarthy yesterday. Yesterday, in general, especially if you take away those 5 batted passes from the 20 incompletions, overall, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible day. Especially when you count, that second interception was whatever. The first interception was bad. Second one was whatever. Right, they got batted passes. Maybe those turn into explosive plays. Maybe if they don't have all the false starts, maybe the Vikings actually are able to consistently run the football. So, I don't know. Like, if that's going to be the bad J.J. McCarthy game, you'll take it. Right? Because even when it was bad, it was not bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. So big game on Sunday with the Bears coming in. Already beat the Bears ass once. Got to do it again. Got to get to 500. Got to be 3-0 in the NFC North division. And hopefully Jonathan Greenard will be there and just getting after the quarterback. It's going to be good, man. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Kevin O'Connell fed the local media jackals. That's it. Skull production value.